So we have to watch our language.
No.
Obama slip.
Rachel hears me say the same thing, and she hasn't fallen asleep yet. But we do try the same thing, say the same thing every time. You know, I don't know whether it would help if there's some seats over here. We maybe like to move this direction and be a little less hollering both ways. And as we fill it up, we'll fill it up. But
I can hear. I hear very well.
do you? Okay.
I like my back over here so I can see it.
I need some signs.
We've got.
I already have your sign on my lawn, Tim.
Good.
Yeah, me too.
That raises
I
property
think that's why they
values.
keep coming back.
Raises property values.
I think they keep coming back.
To my son. So, yeah.
Well, anyway, thank you for taking your time this afternoon to come out. We hope that it will be an informative time, and I try to make sure that it's informative for me as well. So more than half of it will be spent with the opportunity for you to ask questions or make comments. And so be prepared for that. I hope I'm prepared for it. Just came from, where were we last? Eaton Rapids. And had a good event up there at a coffee shop, and a lot of spirited discussion. Last night had our first major debate between the three primary candidates, and I enjoyed it. My wife said it looked like you were having fun. When I'm having fun in a debate, then I feel it went well as well. So you have two opponents in the primary. You can decide what their names are. I'm not going to tell you. If you don't know, you'll have to find out. But at a point in time last night, it sounded like we were triplets separated at birth.
Yes.
Agreed on everything. And the common denominator was that we were speaking conservative Republican. The difference between the three of us was there was only one who was speaking last night who was a proven principled conservative. I'm the only one with a track record. Now that sometimes is good, and sometimes it allows opposition to take pot shots at it. But if you're looking at this stage of the game in our country's history, which is probably more traumatic than most of us have experienced, even with Carter, we still had a lot of stuff that still was working and we could fall back on once we got Reagan in the place. At this point in time, we've seen the diminution of manufacturing in the country. We've seen ourselves with true global competition and hurdles that our government has put in the way of ourselves of truly competing with our competition, as we certainly could, and still beat them hands down if we didn't have the government putting up unnecessary hurdles of taxes, regulatory, environmental issues, and all sorts of other things that makes it tougher for us to go. So that's what we're facing now. So in light of that, why take a chance on someone who sounds good, but like the old saw says, all these candidates sound so good till we like them, then what happens? Well, with me, you have a proven track record in the state legislature and in Congress of standing consistently true conservative. Now, if you're not a conservative, that ought to worry you. If you are a conservative, then it ought to give you some comfort. That what I say I will do. And my wife is here, well, not here right now. She just did a town hall for me in Hillsdale. Should have been with her, Rachel. But she certainly will keep my feet to the fire, and I'd expect you to do that as well. And for that reason, I always, almost in every case, for truth in advertising, but virtually 99% of the meetings I hold, at some point in time, I read this to you. And I read it not because it's not memorized, because it is. And I think Rachel's memorized it. My staff has probably memorized it because they heard it so many times. But I read it so it's an object lesson that at any point in time, should I be given the privilege to represent you again, and something starts to change, at least in your mind or perception about how I'm voting, what I'm saying, what positions I'm taking, you can always go with my permission and encouragement up to me and point to my hip and say, take the brain on your hip out, go to that page that you had there where you told us where you stood. Let's talk about it.